Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian Phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the Phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
Well, definitely. He already said that he was... What did he say? That it would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career? Yeah, he's seeking status within the illustrious field of cryptozoology.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian Phasmid is more than mere superstition.
I don't need to ask that. I could already surmise that it's because of the number of third-hand accounts, as he worded it, here in Martinez. Maybe the Insulindian Phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Isn't that like a virgin birth?
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
This arouses no special feelings in me.
And it shouldn't. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps. How exactly do you plan on capturing one of these things? Well, I'm not gonna... you know what? He's convinced they exist, but... Tell me more, nonetheless.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the Phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out.
I don't know if that tracks, because if they're potentially as large as a reed... Whatever.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
You said that Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
I don't know who that is. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
There's a little factoid that I'm almost certain I've shared before in this series, but at one point in the Western world, gorillas themselves were considered cryptids. They were dismissed as no more tangible than the Bigfoot here in the Pacific Northwest, or the Yowies, the diminutive Bigfoot of Australia. But they exist. So can you imagine being one of those cliche, ivory hat explorers stumbling across a troop of gorillas? The silverback stands up and puffs up his chest and starts beating it with that drum-like sound. That'd be pretty terrifying. How many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
Seems like the whole institution is just an exercise of futility, then.
2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Well, that was a happy coincidence. He immediately refuted my statement. Only 2 have proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Interesting. So unlike the Bigfoot, whose existence remains highly contested outside of the scientific community, I think the Yowies, the leading theory, if I recall correctly, is that they were essentially just that. Like, the sightings of them were just, I don't know, folktale, what have you, but it wouldn't surprise me if some of the Aboriginals thousands of years ago stumbled across, like, maybe when, like, a landslide or something like that, just stumbled across a fossilized skeleton of one of the pygmies. So, interesting.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries.
Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is? 0.00003% of bioreactive agents have reproducibly beneficial effects. Yet science persists in the search for medicine, as we persist in our search for new species.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Well, thank you for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes?
You know what? I'm gonna get going. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. People are starting to think. Waking up. You fucking fascist. Wait, am I a fascist? Oh yeah, I am a fascist. My brother!
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer? Yellow man. I mean, officer.
What the fuck? I may be a fascist, but I'm not a racist fascist. At least, wait, let me double check. Okay, there's no racism tally, so I guess I'll just have to interpret it as I will. But I think I've come to respect Kim. Maybe, perhaps, God forbid, Harry did harbor some kind of, like, racial prejudices. But come to think of it, no, I forgot that I consciously rejected racism with my exchanges with Measurehead. So no, I'm not a racist. Even though fascism and racism do often go hand in hand. I don't give a shit about the color of someone's skin, only that they listen to authority.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
Yeah, I don't think that was accidental. I think he did that on purpose, and then was trying to act like he did it accidentally.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Yeah, I'm more of a city boy too.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates? This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Yeah, that's true. I want to disarm him. I am neither of those things, I can assure you. I am a by-the-books, clean-as-a-whistle officer of the law. I'm not even tempted to touch intoxicants.
I've been tempted on occasion. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Soggy logs. Jesus. I like that combination of words. Maybe I don't like it more accurately, but it's interesting. It's entertaining, if nothing else.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
You said Revocol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
I suspected it was something like that. The hard way, though. Yeah, he really emphasized that. I'm not familiar with any of the slurs for this game's world, but I'm certain he uses the most offensive variant that he can.
The stupid way? It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
So it's a dog whistle. Hence crypto-fascist. You know, that's the funny thing about fascists. They claim strength and superiority and such. But at the end of the day, the majority of them are fucking pussies. Or they're just delusional. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
He nods in sincere approval.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
So, are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes. The burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
Oh, so he means they literally, like, immolate. They don't just, like... I was imagining something akin to, like, a firefly or something like that. How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly.
So I assume that the mythos of the burning rhino was just people looking for an explanation for sudden fires. Probably one started by lightning, or a bottle left in the sun.
Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
The lieutenant sighs without looking up from his notes.
That's why it's his favorite. He considers it his spirit animal. Because, yeah, granted, these things don't apply to animals necessarily, but enforcing your will upon a circle of females and copulating loudly with them. Yeah, that sounds about right. How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
I don't care.
I imagine it's quite a sight.
Is this your mug? I hold up the racism mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
This is the man whose house I broke into. Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Nah, Gary. I just want information. Regrettably, Harry is also a fascist.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
Ethical germs! What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell, The damn Bohemians run it like a mob.
I'm in waste management.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Yeah, he was definitely being a little bit, I don't know how you'd want to word it, sardonic, facetious. But the tone in his voice was definitely meant to antagonize Gary. I think he's like, hello, yeah, I'm still here. I'm a police officer as well, hello. No need for histrionics, sir. I am a police officer. Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, yes. What happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you, Gary?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
You just can't keep your story straight, can you, Gary?
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
I'm observing him closely. I certainly am. Wouldn't surprise me if he was involved. I think that they established that the mercenary who was hanged was a part of the Oranese Special Forces. So I'm not sure if Oranese is a race or just a nationality. But frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if he watched the whole thing with rapt attention. A man being forced to die because the mob decided it. They decided that it would be best for Revachol. I don't want to be associated with this man more than I have to be. Let's move on, for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over. It's alright, so we know it was this prick. What beef does Everett have with this man? Everett claims to be a socialist, but once we derided socialism, he immediately dropped the facade. So maybe it's just for his public image? Everett knows this man is a crypto-fascist, and he, in a Machiavellian way, is trying to put him in his place, something like that, just to further demonstrate his power. His power is mostly about projection of power, more than anything. I just realized that was kind of a redundant statement. Power is about the rejection of power. Oh, projection of power. I guess more accurately, it's about the projection of authority. But even still, that's still synonymous.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
So, Gary, you live nearby? In an apartment in Martinez? Pointed its direction.
Sure do, officer.
Mr. Clare must be very angry with you.
Mr. Everett?
The color drains from his face. Yes, he insisted that I open the door to your apartment.
So you work for Everett Clare?
He realizes...
Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
Yeah, alright, his tone has certainly changed.
What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around, whispering. He makes sure no one hears you talk.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he does not like you.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that.
And there it is. So even though Everett has no genuine compassion for his fellow man, a number of his enforcers are like multiracial. Well, the entirety of them are comprised of different races, so if he wants their loyalty, he has to present himself as being vehemently opposed to such theories.
I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He's definitely more of a pussy than delusional, but he's also both. I imagine Harry's own fascist ideology comes from insecurity, feeling inadequate, fear of inadequacy. So as I said, it all comes down to either fear or delusion.